Well, after a successful test fire, everything's looking pretty good. Nothing's hemorrhaging, nothing's broken, all good. There's just a couple little things which I really want to fix. So we've got these here trailing arms, which must be 40 years old. I think so, I think they have to be. But they're chrome moly, and they've actually been chrome plated as well, which I think, as all you engineers out there know, that's probably a bit of a no-no to chrome plate these things. Just embrittles them. But anyway, and the second thing is, I'm going to replace those with some aluminium ones, I think. And the second thing is, well, I know you can get down here and see, but there's not much ground clearance under here. And so, my ass is right there, and then this end here is completely open. And when you hop curbs and stuff, not that you should anyway, but when you hop curbs and stuff, because that's what the Formula 1 guys do, so, why not? You've only got, well, that's 60 millimeters of ground clearance under no load, add 100 kilograms of downforce and 100 kilograms of, ballast. There's not much room left, so, and it's open. The first thing to hit the ground is the bottom of the bell housing and the flywheel. So, focus you. Right, focus. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a skid plate, just like the motocross bikes. I'm going to make a skid plate. I'm going to stick it under here, and then when I do bottom out over the curbs, the first thing that's going to hit the ground is not going to be my ass or the flywheel spinning at a gazillion RPM, but the skid plate, making a lot of nice sparks anyway. So let's see what we can come up with. So while I'm under here, it's always good to have a bit of a poke around, but something of interest that I thought some people might be interested in is, this is a Hewland Mark 9 gearbox, as viewed from, hopefully, an angle that no one should ever view a Hewland Mark 9 from. If they do, well, they've got big problems. But anyway, importantly, interestingly enough, those in the know will know that these things never came with any seal around the gear selector input shaft, and it would just piss oil out. I don't know what they were thinking, but anyway, I made a little doodad with an O-ring behind it that went on this here shaft, and then I drilled and tapped very carefully through there and around the back, somewhere you can't see, and built that. So far, so good. So far, that is not leaking, and so far that has not caused any gear selection issues at all. See, it's just a little flat disc with a cutout for an O-ring and behind it, and held on with 3 screws tapped in there very carefully. So there you go. Just a bit of trivia for you. Anyway, moving along. Right, what do we got here? 400-ish. You see, this is where I should have got that hoist. God damn. 400 there. Perfect. Right, let's see what we've got. So as you can see, maybe a little bit of a hoarder, bit of a pack rat, magpie, shiny things. Got to keep it for a rainy day. Anyway, one thing that I kept for a rainy day about a few years ago was this here piece of aluminium. And guess what? Now that never happens, does it, people? Something that you've stored for eons in the back of the garage that you thought might come in handy one day actually is going to come in handy. Right. So measure once, cut twice. Right, safety my glasses, yeah, McMuffs. Let's rephrase that. Anyway, and some CRC and jigsaw. Right, into it. Oh, that's very noisy. The neighbours won't mind at all. Perfect. I love linishes. They're such a useful tool. They do a great job. Anyway, yep, we're in business. Right, for added rigidity across the back, I've got this here piece of aluminium which I've machined, and it's kind of, it's going to go in there quite nicely. So the plan here is, well, first off, eagle-eyed amongst you can see that I've machined it on a slight angle. It's hard to see from that angle, but yeah, that's on a slight angle, so that allows the this piece of aluminium to slope up towards the back, then back down to the frame. But I don't want to be drilling any holes in the frame, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another piece and make a clamp, just like the motocross bike guys do, to clamp across the rear of the chassis rather than drilling holes in it. And that will provide the rigidity. I don't like drilling holes in chassis, especially on these things, and then we should be good to go. So, okay, tappity tap, 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 M6. First you break the chip, then you break the tap. That's progress. I think that's looking pretty good. Alright, moment of truth. Did I mention and I should have bought a hoist? Well, that looks pretty good from here. Put a clamp on there. Goes across there like that. Alright, never underestimate a patient man with a hacksaw and a file. Well, it worked for Alcatraz, didn't it? Anyway, tap, tappity, tap, tap, tap. Why am I actually putting this in the drill press to centre it? That's because these cheap Chinesium taps, they don't have a bloody centre in the end of them. So I use these for aluminium, and I save the good ones for steel and the hard stuff, so I don't wreck my good ones cutting crap. But that's why I do it by ichrometer, because I can't. There's no centre. I ask how you're going to achieve clamping pressure on this without putting a bolt on both sides. Well, like that. So you've got it relieved, it's only clamping, bit of a lever fulcrum thing happening. Not much, but it's enough. That's clamped on there. I've given it the full knockometer test, and it's not moving. So, best of all, is if you look at it, and if you imagined you were a rumble strip about to hit that, that's going to slide off over there, I think, quite nicely. Yep, save my flywheel from imminent doom. Look at that. That's got to be a lot better. So, onwards with the riv nut process. That might be a topic for another day. And the reason it might be a topic for another day is because, my darling wife, she bought me lunch. Probably sick of all the hammering and banging going on down here. So, anyway, but, brilliant. So, next video, riv nut 101.